Look forward to giving you a very quick update on Sandfire and what we're up to at the moment. And I suppose the comment that I would make about our business, we're initially a West Australian domiciled company, but the two key items that I'd like to highlight today is one of transformation of our business and one of growth. So they're the two key things I just want to touch on. Where we are at the moment, I think a couple of things that have happened in the last 12 to 18 months. We've undertaken a major acquisition of the Matsa mining complex in the Andalusia province of Spain. That was a transaction that we completed on the 1st of February of this year, having agreed to buy that asset from Mubadala and Trafigura for a price of $1.865 billion US. And that's a major asset, and I'll touch on a little bit that in a minute. And we're also developing our Matsa project in Botswana, and we've just been up there a couple of days ago, and that is essentially a project that is going into production in the middle of next year and expanding in 24 and will be a 5.2 million tonne per annum operation copper mine. We're essentially moving now to a scale. We've been in the last 10 years a scale of around 65,000 tonnes of copper per annum, and we'll be moving into the sort of areas of about 150 to 160,000 tonnes of predominantly copper production, and looking at aspirations over the next 3 to 5 years to get that to over 200,000 tonnes. So moving in a bit of scale and certainly that transformation and growth, and significant exploration provinces in Western Australia, in Spain and Andalusia around that Matsa mine, certainly in Botswana. We'll touch on that in a second. And also we have a project in the USA and Montana. Future-facing metals, we're in the copper space. We'll predominantly be copper-focused. And we have, as I said, a number of these projects and a significant exploration portfolio. Matsa, we have acquired 3 underground VMS copper mines dominated predominantly by copper. The project is about 2/3 copper, 1/3 zinc. So 3 underground mines and a 4.7 million tonne per annum processing facility. In addition, we have the largest footprint through the Iberian Pyrite Belt through Spain and Portugal. So we've picked up a significant strategic position. In the 2 months that we've had ownership of Matsa up until the June quarter, it's had an outstanding performance. It was a very good, solid mine, and our objectives are initially to optimise that project, and we don't think it was running as best as it could, and then look at other incremental improvements in production and other small areas, and then ultimately the possibility of further expansion at scale. But for the 2 months that we've held the operation, and the particular focus here for us is just the extraordinary margin that's been able to be generated by this mine. And essentially, just under $4 US a pound effectively was the margin generated in that period, and produced a free cash flow out of the operations of around $100 million US and an EBITDA margin at an operating level of 63%. So really solid mine. It also has a significant resource endowment, about 160 million tonnes of material through resource inventory, and also resources and further tier 3 inventory at around a 3% copper equivalent grade. So really a significant ore body. And in addition to that, it has a significant exploration footprint, and we see a great further opportunities for further discoveries. Just want to quickly touch on Matsa, which means new beginning or foundation stone in Setswana, and the reason why we are pretty much here today. But essentially, we are in the middle of probably halfway through construction of the Matsa copper project. Essentially, we're well advanced from where we are here at the moment. We're 58% committed on our CapEx. We're probably about 45 to 46% completed in terms of works on the ground. And you will see there in front of you a whole bunch of photographs that are probably a month old effectively, but nonetheless give you a bit of a sense that we've started open pit mining. And the other important element for us is everything is on time and on budget. So we committed a number of things to large capex expenditure, etc., and large equipment, effectively pre sort of delays in that supply chain, and they're all locked down, and so all that material is arriving. We expect to be in production in the middle of 23, and then we were ramping up effectively double the size of the operations in middle of 24. And that's the T3 and the A4 projects. And really, just to highlight, what we're also up to strategically in that region, we have a dominant position in the Kalahari Copper Belt. And just to highlight, as I leave this presentation, of the footprint that we have in the region, and it's a big strategic play. Everything you see in turquoise, green and apricot on that slide in front of you is owned 100% by Sandfire. In the middle there, you'll see the T3 and the A4 projects, and that's where we are building the 5.2 million tonne brand new per annum mine. And to the northeast, you'll see in that little grey area is our neighbour, and the reason why we are in Botswana, we looked at acquiring the GNRI Khoemacau project about 6 years ago. We're unable to complete that transaction, and they have developed that mine. But in that grey area and contained within those yellow stars is a global resource of almost 600 million tonnes of copper material, grading at an average of 1.5% copper and about 17 grams per tonne silver. So we quite like the district of Botswana. We had a look around. We acquired a company called Mod Resources about 3 years ago, and we've been busy in the background diligently optimising their feasibility study, expanding that, drilling away, making a further discovery, and effectively getting essentially control of what we believe is the dominant portion of that Kalahari Copper Belt. So we're busy as well exploring. As an organisation this year, we'll probably expend some in the order of 60 to 65 million US in exploration. I think somewhere in the order of 20 million will be invested in Botswana, 15 million in Australia, 5 million in the US, and about probably another $20 million in Spain around that Matsa complex. So we're busy at the moment. There's lots happening. Essentially, robust operations in Spain, moving into operations here in Botswana as we roll off our West Australian production at the very profitable DeGrussa mine, which was the DeGrussa and Monty mines. So a good, strong platform for growth for us. We're expanding, and as I said at the beginning, very much a transformation of our business into an internationally diversified, sustainable miner. And really going to leverage off these very strong bases both in Spain and also in Botswana. And we're looking at other opportunities on a global basis through these production hubs. Lots of exploration and a fantastic team of women and men that are actually driving a business in a totally aligned manner. So that's where we are. Thanks very much for your time.